I torment Purnagendi, the Earth Balancer.
Legends say I'm balancing the earth, but sad to say, I'm just hanging on.
Me, Rongo, god of agriculture. I find electricity. Aloha, wahine me kioni mana. I am Koro, midnight dancer.
They call me Tangaroa-Roo, the East Wind.
And I am Hina, goddess of rain.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Dal's Oddity. I'm Dalton, and this is part 3 of turning my house into Adventureland from Disneyland. Today I'm going to show you guys how I made these really cool tiki gods from the Enchanted Tiki Garden. Let's do it. I thought it would be so fun to make these guys, and I found this artwork of them that pretty perfectly matched the totems I did a few weeks ago. I first brought this reference image into Adobe Illustrator and resize it so that they were all the appropriate size for where I wanted to put them, and I made a simple outline drawing on top of them and printed them out full size across multiple pages of paper and taped them together like so. I then cut each one out individually so that I had some patterns to work off of. I then pinned the patterns down onto some scrap pieces of 1-inch extruded polystyrene foam that I have left over from the past few videos and trace the outline. Once they are all traced, I used a very sharp utility blade to cut them all out. A few of them, like Pele, get a few extra layers on them for the top hat part area. For this, I first cut the layers out of the paper pattern, and then I trace and cut it out of some 1/2-inch polystyrene. These layers then all get glued together. Tangaroa-Roo has these little wings on the very top that are too thin for the polystyrene, so I used 2 layers of 2mm EVA foam with a wooden dowel sandwiched in between them. This is much sturdier, it's going to be much easier to work with. Next, it was time to draw on all of the details. Some I just freehand, and others I used some cutouts from the original paper patterns to make sure all the details look right. To carve in said details, I will be using a soldering iron. Safety warning. Please always work in a well-ventilated area and wear proper respiratory protection when melting polystyrene. I cannot stress this enough. These fumes are extremely hazardous. Please be careful. First, I trace over all of the Sharpie lines that I drew on, and once all those shapes are carved in, I add in some wood grain lines as well. These I just make sure are all going in the exact same direction and try not to carve them as deep as the detail lines. Next, it is time to put each tiki god on their own wooden base so that they can stand up on their own. To do this, I first glue a piece of wood to the back of each one with some Loctite Power Grab, my absolute favorite adhesive for polystyrene. Then flip it over and sink in some drywall screws from the front. When doing this, be very slow and gentle so you don't put the screw right through the entire piece of foam, and then to cover up the holes, I just fill them in with a little bit of patch and paint. Then I attach the tiki god to the wooden base with some more of that power grab and a little bracket. I let the glue fully dry overnight, and now it is time for some paint. Each god first gets a coat of pale yellow, the same color as the wooden base. Once that dried, I painted each tiki god separately. I decided to keep with the simple 2-tone paint job from the reference image as opposed to the originals at Disneyland because I really liked how it looked. They kind of look like the Tiki Power Rangers. Lastly, the only thing left to do was to go in with a dark brown wash. This brought out all the wood grain lines and made the yellow look like some nice stained wood. They look so amazing. I love them. Now the tiki gods are complete. I'm so excited with how these guys turned out, and I hope y'all really like them too. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to see them in action. There's so much still to come on my journey of turning my house into Adventureland from Disneyland. But that's all I got for you today, so stay safe, and I'll see y'all real soon.